I hope that helps. If by any means you're a great fan of Black Panther, don't listen to me. If you're a great fan of Black Widow, just don't listen to me. Just pick them as your main and start having a great time. Um, uh, this is just some experiences that I've had. So great. Okay, let's go back to the studio. There we go. I can still, I still love doing this. All right. Um, so another news today. I'm going to go to close this one down. Um, anyway, our mythic is getting together a lot of people on the balcony. His name is Ernixor. It's Nixor. If you're here on live, get into the game, get people together, and that would be great to get the world record of Moon Knights in a train. Don't forget that, the Moon Train on at the end of this show. Alright, let's continue. So, before I go to my special guest, I have one more thing I want to do. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give you my insights, what I think about, what I'm thinking about my experience with Moonlight, and then. So let's wait for this to load up. There we go. I've been playing with my thing earlier, which is pretty funny, and as you can see, I put 3 size increase on, and this is the biggest as you could get. You can get up to 3 times bigger than a normal. He's just really big. Thor comes to his shoulder, right? And even that, it's funny if you put someone next to it that is just really small. But I'm not here for that. Let me quickly tell you my vision on Moon Knight. Last week we had a Moon Knight race, which was pretty funny, even though at the start, there he goes, I like his entrance. At the start it was funny, because the advanced specs had to wait like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and everyone was really hyped and just started rushing, and it was, we got lost. But I had a great time getting into 60. And one of the best things that I want to quickly note, what I like about him, is he did feel a bit clunky at start, at level 1. He got a bit slow. I was not really feeling it, but he has one great mechanic, and that shines later on, and that's part of his abilities. I hope you can see that with my overlay. This is one of it, Carbonadium Armor. It gives you, it's so very interesting, it gives you 8.8% damage, ignoration. So what does this do? Up to 70%. So that means if you do the calculations, you get up to 60%, you ignore damage. So together with your armor, that works really hard. And if you know the term effective health, what this means, and that's what I find very interesting, is if you lose 10% of health, you ignore 8.8% health. So your effective health does not even go that low, maybe 1 or 2 percentage, but your effective health is not going lower. So, and this goes all the way up to 70% missing health. So if you are around 30% health, right? So if you look at the red bar, which is your health bar, all the way up to 30%, you're not even losing that much effective health. So why is that interesting? Right? You mean your effective health stays at 100%? That's fine. That means that you gonna have a great time until you're 30%. What makes this so great is these skills, Tools of Vengeance and Avatar of Vengeance. I'm not going, due to the time, I'm not going too much into that. But if you lose crit rating, if you lose health percentage, as you can see here, your crit power goes up, your crit rating, and your critical damage. So what does that mean, right? It means that if you are at 30% health, you are still at 100% health, theoretically, right? Effective health, at least, you're still going to be around 12,000, 10,000, something like that. But you will do a lot more damage. And it's so cool because I did not realize at first, but I got myself into situations where I was just not doing that much damage. I got overwhelmed, and because I was overwhelmed, I got less health, and I just started punching, and I got a lot more damage. You just feel your damage ramp up, And the same goes for your spirit. So what you find yourself doing, which I found really unique, is I found myself trying to get hit, which is so iconic for Moon Eye. That's why I loved it so much. I tried to get myself in sticky situations, get myself to 40-50% of health, and I just felt my damage going up, and I just punched back, and then. And even the cool thing is I got the red. I went for Avatar of Vengeance. So even if I got to 30%, I was so close that and when I get close, I just pop that avatar. You're for 8 more seconds. You have it all the way at 0%, but you cannot die. So that was just crazy. So you went in, you got punched, you got stronger, and just before you die, you pop your I win button for 8 seconds. That was just great. Um, that was just great. So I had a blast on Moon. I'm definitely going to let Prestige him one time. I only played in melee. I'm not going to really go into the builds and stuff because we don't really have the time. But if you can, and if you like to just be punched and get yourself into trouble and just punch your way out of there, yeah, you're gonna have a blast. All right. So I'm sorry for my enthusiasm. I just had a great time with it. And now I'm going to the training room, and we are going. I'm proud to introduce my second special guest on my show, and I've talked to him before. He's been known as at Google as Marvel Google, and I just let me switch to normal for a bit, and I'm going to try to get him into the group.
Ready to crack some skulls.
All right, let me get one sec. I have to try to type. I'm going to invite Leloric to the show. So let me see. Hello, Leloric, are you there? I hope he is. Leloric, can you hear me? Alright, I think he is not around. It happens. Um, so we want to start a Moon Knight train in the meanwhile. And what you have to do is you have to message your Nixar for an invite. So if you're in the game right now, let's see if we can get a lot of people there.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I was dealing with a kid.
All right, that's no worries. Welcome to the show, Leloric. The first question that I have is, where did you get your nickname from? I always like to do that.
Most people think it's from the related to Diablo and King Leoric, and it's not. It's actually something I had before Diablo was even a game. Just something I've used for a long time, and it's just stuck around. In fact, when I play Diablo, I don't use it because it's so close and people get confused.
All right. So where is it from then? Is it from like a book or something?
No, it's just kind of something I made up. It's supposed to be like an elven name, whatever, and just one that I made up.
Awesome. All right. So for people that don't know you, you've been around since launch, as far as I know, and you are very in-depth on a lot of builds. You're great on Black Panther. At least you write guides about him. He's your favorite hero. And what else am I missing?
Yeah, mostly I'm just kind of a number cruncher. Big on math, big on getting into what makes games ticks and how to best optimize heroes and things like that. So I do a lot with Black Panther and Hawkeye. I've also done a fair amount with Black Widow, Scarlet Witch. I've kind of taken up Squirrel lately as a pet project, we'll say, not to be punny.
Sorry, what are you trying to do with her? I missed that.
Oh, just she's kind of a pet project of mine. So, pardon the pun with that, but she's just something that I've picked up, trying to figure out how she works, and she's got a lot of bugs right now that I've been trying to forward on, and hopefully get some fixes on there.
All right. Um, the very reason that I wanted to talk with you about is because if people might know that I took a little bit of a breather after the Ascot opening event in December and January, and what I missed there at that time is um, they implemented a system about, and they were talking a lot about time to kill and time to live. And because you're the knowledge base, I really feel that like that always is. Could you explain to me a little bit what are these concepts? What is time to kill?
Well, time to kill is just kind of a generic concept of how quickly or how much damage you can do in a short period. So with that, and it mostly in regards to what the devs and everything have been doing with it, it's single target DPS. It's mostly, I know, with the test gear and stuff that they have on the test center, it's designed for this dummy back here in the back left, the boss dummy, and I know that for testing and purposes and stuff, they've ran different heroes beating on the dummy, and just to see how fast they can kill it, and kind of measure that. So that's part of time to kill. Now, of course, that's just single target, and it's not the entirety of the game, but that's kind of something that they've looked at and have tried to even out the heroes a lot, because before the 2.1 patch, it was pretty the gaps were pretty wide, and they're not quite as wide right now.
Yeah, one of the reasons as well is that it was implemented, as far as as I thought, is that they have a system that they could tweak that on a weekly basis in a way that they just see the numbers and they tweak around, and that every hero will be a little bit closer towards each other. So you will never get a new hero release that's like crazily overpowered or crazily underpowered and feel a little bit the same, right? That's correct, right?
Yeah, it should kind of alleviate some of that. Basically, for the most part, skills across heroes should be the same as long as they're similar skills. So my knockdown strike as Black Panther should be moderately similar to what you get as your Sistai Gauntlet punches as Moon Knight. There's going to be some difference, of course, but it's going to be close to the same at least. And similar skills like that, and AoE should be similar, and a lot of things like that. So you'll see, you won't see the big gaps that we saw before with heroes in that regards.
Yeah, so the idea is that if you gear correctly, and if you gear for a specific punch, or like you said, a knockdown punch or like an AoE punch, if you use the AoE, you have to just all right, correct me if I'm wrong, right? You can just choose whatever AoE you want, and in the end your time to kill, so the time until this guy dies will still be the same. That's correct, right?
Somewhat, yeah. You're of course going to see some variance because of different passes, different gears that heroes have, and that kind of stuff. But just the skill itself, if they're a very similar skill, I think Cyclops has explosive blast and Hawkeye has explosive arrow. Now there's a little bit of variance and difference in those because Hawkeye's he gets a lot of range damage with his set, and so does Cyclops. But I mean, there's going to be some variance in there, but they're going to be pretty close to similar skills because they're basically the same skill at the base. There's a few different modifiers that'll change them somewhat, but.
All right. But is it also only on the is it only per skill base, or is it also what is all? Because some heroes have like a buff and have a shout, and some heroes have a synergy, and some heroes get stronger. For example, Moon Knight gets stronger when he gets low health. Is all this stuff calculated in there, or?
Well, yeah. Basically, as far as to get the times, the passes and those buffs and things like that, and the amount of damage that a hero can layer, those are all baked into the total time to kill. And that's what makes heroes a little bit different and helps them balance those, even though the skills may be moderately different. So it kind of just all works together for the same thing there.
All right. Is it a bit like trial and error, and is it like, are they considering max geared characters, or are they able to like? Yeah, I just try to understand the concept.